Hey guys, 7WB Rocks here, and thank you so much for joining me on episode 49 of Saturday Night's Kickout. So close to 50, almost there. Tomorrow I will be doing the video where you will be able to ask questions for my Q&A, which next week on August 8th, I think. August 8th, I believe, yeah. I will be going to actually Booker T's wrestling show, Reality of Wrestling, and I'll see Bob Holly, Devon, and Lita was actually just announced. So hopefully getting a meet and greet with all of them, or not all of them. Bob Holly, because he was so nice the first time I met him, and then Lita, because I've always wanted to meet her, honestly. But I was going to get a magazine for Bob Holly, but I was like, I don't really want to spend $15 just to get the magazine to sign it. And I honestly don't even know if he will be doing a meet and greet. So I just printed out a picture. Here, I got it right here. Printed out a picture, and thought it came out pretty well. I got it all glossy and stuff. And it is pretty much the magazine I was going to get with the addition of Kane and Viscera. But it was like originally just like this. And I'm going to get Bob Holly to sign it, hopefully. And I think it came out well. Not the best quality or high quality, but I think it came out pretty well. So I'm excited for that to get it hopefully signed. And then Lita, I'll get like an Attitude Era DVD signed or something. But yeah, so that should be really cool. And yeah, tomorrow I will do the video so you can ask questions and all that good stuff. So sorry, I'm going to try to make this episode short. I know I say that every time and it ends up going 20 to 30 minutes, which I've been told that this show goes on a little too long, and I'm fine with that. And this is just something for you guys just to listen to. We talk and stuff, and if you don't watch the whole thing, I don't really care. That's fine. But yeah, so the Q&A, I got that out of the way. Dan O'Brien book review on Monday. Can't wait for that. I just finished the book last night, and I just can't wait to talk about it and stuff. Hopefully you enjoy that. It's a really good book, and shocking ending, like kind of sad ending, but I'll get to that on Monday, of course. So let's get into it. Episode titled All Out of Bubblegum, and start off with sad news. This is once again the second time I've had to do this, start Saturday Night's Kickout with talking about the sad death. First it was Dusty Rhodes. Now Roddy Piper has passed away. Of course you guys all know this. I wasn't gonna make a specific video about that because honestly I can't do him justice. I never saw him wrestle, live or whatever. I never got to see him wrestle, but the moments I did get to see were awesome. The Piper Pits with Randy Orton, when Kofi Kingston came out and make the save. Piper Pits with Rusev and Lana, when he kissed Tate O'Brien on the forehead at WrestleMania 31. And, of course, Legends House. That's really what I got to see, a lot of them. And him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan were just hilarious. And I remember just every week I was so excited for what Roddy and Hacksaw would be doing. So very sad death, very tragic. And I remember just reading about it, and people at first they were saying it was like natural causes or whatnot, and then it came out that he did have a heart attack. But 61, I mean, that's scary stuff. I mean, he was young. He still had a lot of good years left in him, it seemed, and that's just really disappointing to see. And thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends and everything, and every wrestler that he touched, because you could just see on Twitter tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet, just all in a row, just wrestlers, thanking him for how kind he was and stuff. And it's really great to see that, just see how awesome he was and just so respectful and kind to everybody. And Ronda Rousey, she asked if she could use the Rowdy part of his name, and he said, absolutely, go with it, And so she is actually dedicating the fight tonight to Roddy Piper. So I thought that was really nice for her and really awesome. So pulling for Ronda on this one, and yeah, really sad about that. Just such sad stuff, and he's a legend. And I honestly, I'm excited to see how how they open up the show, because I really love the Dusty tribute, and I think Piper's going to get a great one as well. So I'm really excited for that, and just really sad stuff. And I know a lot of people that got to see him wrestle live and stuff, and grew up seeing him be their hero. I know that really hurt them bad. So touching stuff, and yeah, we're going to get into this episode of Saturday Night's Kickout. We're going to try to go to a lighter note, So all out of bubblegum, one of my favorite lines. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I will not be talking about Ring of Honor and NXT. I was really bad this week. I missed Ring of Honor because I was doing a TNA review with my friends, so that was all right. And then NXT, I just haven't even watched. So I need to start watching that. But I heard it wasn't. I didn't hear it was bad or good or whatever. I just saw the card and I thought, I probably am going to skip that one. But I'll end up watching it either later tonight or tomorrow, somewhere down the week. So yeah, no Ring of Honor NXT talk. I do apologize for that, but we got Raw, Lucha Underground, and TNA, and I really look forward to getting into it with you guys. So let's get right into it. Raw started off with it didn't start off the show. I'll get to this opening segment later, but Dean Ambrose versus Big Show. And Big Show killed Dean Ambrose. Basically, just chokeslammed him one after the other, knockout punch. Ambrose did a suicide dive through the ropes, and Big Show just knocked him out. So he got the 1, 2, 3, of course. I was disappointed about that. I know a lot of people are actually saying they've been totally turned off by the Dean Ambrose character. They just don't care about him. And I can see how some people are saying that. I always really enjoyed Dean Ambrose. I think he's such a fun character and really good at what he does. He's just one of those guys that doesn't get the break I think they deserve. And like Cesaro, people like that, I'll get to that later. But towards the end, Big Show went to still go on the attack even after the match was over. He went to go spear Ambrose through the barricade. Ambrose moved out of the way, and Big Show went toppling right through the barricade. So Ambrose got the last laugh. And I honestly could really hope they would go somewhere with that character. I mean, he got just the crap beaten out of him, yet he kept getting up. Like, it was like inspirational stuff, You're just like, he just keeps getting up even after getting hit with choke slams, knockout punches. When, Mickey from Rocky Balboa is telling him to stay down, Ambrose keeps getting back up. So I thought that was really good. I hope maybe they do something with that. Maybe get a character going where he just won't stay down. He's the true underdog. We'll see. Hopefully he has something at SummerSlam. The guy went from main eventing Money in the Bank with the freaking WWE champion in a ladder match to doing nothing at Battleground. So I don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of guys that I honestly have no idea what they're doing with that for SummerSlam or feud-wise. But I'll get to that later, of course. Rusev and Summer Rae had a little segment. He gave her a dog, a little, adorable dog, and called it Dog Ziggler, I think. And then he said, pulled out a fish and said it was like Lana or something. I don't know. And basically that came out to Lana coming out, and she attacked Summer Rae, and they just started fighting. But really what I want to talk about is I'm guessing they're going to do Summer and Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev and Lana at SummerSlam. Yeah, that feud would be nice. Right now it just seems like it's Lana versus Rusev. I know Ziggler's doing the injury thing, but at this point, I think they need to get Ziggler back in the fray of things and start, feuding with Rusev, not just Lana versus Rusev. It seems like they should fight, but we'll see where it goes. Hopefully somewhere good. But Rusev's pretty good. Rusev's really funny, I think. Just how he kissed Summer Rae but looked creepily at Lana as he was doing it, and just the crazy stuff he does. I think he's really funny and a good character. And it doesn't look like he's gonna, at WrestleMania with his match with Cena's and stuff. It just was like, wow, he could not get more, over or at the top. Now he seems kind of in a crappy feud, but I think he's making the best of it, honestly. Next, we had Orton versus Owens. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, of course. And, yeah, it was weird. Kevin Owens matched up against Cena. They eye to eye, it looked perfect. Randy Orton, on the other hand, he is a giant compared to Owens. It was crazy. Owens had to, look up at him. And I thought, a lot of people were actually tweeting he looks really mismatched against Orton. And he did a great match. It was a pretty, fun match. And they had some good spots. Sheamus, of course, bro-kicked Orton at the end. So that got the disqualification. Cesaro came out to attack Owens. And he, ran and dove over the top rope and tackled Owens. Impressive stuff. I was like, dang, that was insane. And then threw him back in the ring or something. Cesaro went after Sheamus, and then Owens came back in, hit a pop-up powerbomb on Cesaro. So Owens has attacked Sheamus, he's attacked Rusev, he's attacked Cesaro, he's attacking all these people. And I think they're going with Owens versus Cesaro at SummerSlam, but it seems like Orton and Sheamus are still in the kind of connected with this. So maybe they do a fatal four-way match. Maybe they do a tag match or something. Well, that wouldn't really make – oh, yeah, it would. Orton and Owens – or I'm sorry, Sheamus and Owens versus Orton and Cesaro. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they do a fatal four-way, but I'm happy if Cesaro versus Owens happens. I think that'd be an awesome match. But that's a feud where it basically says, we got nothing for these guys. Let's just have them versus each other. It's going to be meaningless. So that's where I kind of don't really care for that. But should be an awesome match if that does happen. I mean, Owens and Cesaro can really tear it up. Main event was Cena and Rollins. The opening segment basically said Rollins, Cena wanted a WWE Championship match right now, tonight, blah, blah, blah. And Rollins said, you know what, no, that's not happening. Or Stephanie McMahon said, that no way that's happening. But, you know, if you're in a fighting mood, how about we put your United States Championship on the line? So Cena's like, all right, let's do it. And main event happens, and a really, really, really good main event. I enjoyed it. It got even better. It was like, you know, Adam Cole versus O'Reilly, like when hybrid fighting rules. I actually watched that match a few days ago. When Adam Cole's mouth got, you know, cut open, he's just bleeding, and like it made the match so much crazier. This kind of happened. Cena, Rollins went for a knee to the face, directly knees him right in the nose, and just breaks his nose in the process. It was like blood's coming out of it, and it just looked like it was on the other side, like just on the cheek. And it looked awful. Like, and it was one of those things where WWE's like, you know, so PG, and they, as soon as they see blood, they're like, you know, take the camera off this person. It was not that. It was zooming in on it. Michael Cole and JBL both talking like, look at his nose. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's doing this. Blah blah blah. I can't believe he's still fighting back. And it came towards the end. Rollins went for a Phoenix Splash, which Cena dodged out of the way. So when Rollins landed, Cena hooked in the STF, got Rollins to tap out. So a really good match. But you just had your WWE World Heavyweight Champion tap out clean in the middle of the ring to the United States Champion. Now, I'm not putting down the United States Champion, but things are not looking good for Rollins. Things are not looking good at all. Tapping out, that seems kind of, you know, I don't know where they go from here. I guess Cena versus Rollins for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, but he's already beaten him clean. It seems like I don't know, he's going to have to beat Cena clean at SummerSlam, or maybe like a low blow or something. But I don't think he needs – for this match, he doesn't need any interference. It needs to be him himself at least. But I would like to see him win clean. That's not going to happen, but still. Yeah, so I don't know about that. That was kind of, you know, crazy. But, yeah, I'm guessing that match happens at SummerSlam. So, moving on, that's all my Raw talk. We're going to go to Lucha Underground. It was the first night of Ultima Lucha. And this week, this Wednesday, will, of course, be the 2-hour season finale. Season finale, that sucks. I'm gonna really miss Lucha Underground. So hopefully they start taping soon so I can see some episodes of Lucha Underground. So I love this show. So I will be reviewing that the day after the show ends, either the night of Ultima Lucha or the day after. I will review the entire event, but I'm going to talk about these matches. So if you don't want to hear anything, if you're waiting just for the season finale, you want to watch the first episode before and then the season finale, by all means, mute this video or skip ahead or whatever, exit out. And also my top 5 will have kind of spoilers of who wins matches of Ultima Lucha. So if you don't want to hear that, skip the top 5 at the end of the show, at the end of this video, of course. So, but let's get right into it. The opening match was the Mac, Willie Mack versus Cage, who is, of course, Brian Cage, in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, Falls Count Anywhere, that was the definition of it. They did not go in the ring one single time. The entire match, there was one point where they were on the top turnbuckle. They were using that to do suplex off of, but there was never them going into the ring and then climbing up the top turnbuckle. It just happened they were on the ring apron and did it. So they never went in the ring once, which was really cool to see. Like, that's kind of a big risk, you know, not going in the ring, but I thought it paid off. It was awesome. I don't know how it was there live, of course, following the action, but TV-wise, freaking epic. I mean, they were on the stairs of the, you know, for where the fans sit, and Willie Mack, I think, did an exploder suplex. So Brian Cage took it just to fall right on the bleachers. That looked painful. They brought out stop signs, you know, fire extinguishers and stuff. There was one part where Cage, they were right in front of a building, not Dario Cueto's office, but like another type of room or whatever. And they were in front of it, though. There was like the door behind them, and Brian Cage goes to hit Willie Mack. Willie Mack just spears them in, like, through the door. They just go crashing through. It looked awesome. And they got back to the ring, and Willie Mack brought out and drank it, spit it on him, hit a stunner, and only got a 2 count. But people freaked out about a Willie Mack stunner. It was awesome. Another crazy spot, they had the table set. Cage was going for a suplex, but Willie Mack was able to reverse it into a sunset flip powerbomb through the table. It looked awesome, and fans freaking out. And then they climbed, just, you know, one after the other, spot after spot after spot. It was awesome. Climbed up way onto the top of one of those balconies, you know, the ones where Angelico always jumps off of, and Cage did an awesome suplex. Like, he was on the inside, like, standing on the balcony, but Willie Mack was behind, like, the guardrail for the balcony, so he's behind it with the crowd. Cage ended up suplexing him into the like balcony part. It looked crazy, and the finish just blew my mind. I was like, no way did they do that. So Cage brings out a cinder block, like a legit cinder blocks on top of the balcony. He puts them in a Super Dragon where he grabs the guy and just stomps their head. That's exactly what he did through the cinder block, probably killing Willie Mack in the process. He's got murder charges as we speak, but Brian Cage ended up just curb stomping it, like the definition of a curb stomp. Through the cinder block, got the 1, 2, 3. So Cage got the win, which I predicted, I was happy with, and I think that's exactly what they should have done. So awesome, awesome match. Like just start to finish, it was insane. Just doing spot after spot after spot. Definitely check it out if you did miss it. It was awesome. Next match was for the Trios Tag Team Championships. Angelico, Son of Havoc, and Evil East, the dysfunctional tag team versus the Disciples of Death, led by Katrina. So this match was pretty good. I think it could have been better because Evil East was injured, still has the boot on her foot, her broken leg, I believe is what the injury is. And she wasn't able to do much. I'm not blaming her or anything. I mean, she got a broken leg. She was out there, trying her best, doing some, like, clotheslines and stuff. But she was very limited, it seems. She was, like, always on the ground. They had to pull her up and stuff to do moves and stuff. But she did a really good job still, nonetheless. And Angelico did another crazy dive from the balcony, but instead of landing in the ring, legit jumped over, like, crowd members, landed on the floor, on the Disciples of Death. Freaking amazing spot. And Angelico, by the way, was at 3 Members 4, of course, at PWG, and I've been reading reports that Regal and the other scouts from WWE that attended PWG 3 Members 4, they are most interested in Angelico. So I could easily see that because Angelico is so impressive. He's got amazing knee strikes, but one of the craziest high flyers I've seen. So it was an awesome spot. The fans, just freaked out. But Katrina had Evil East in the ring, and Evil East rolled around. They were like rolling around, and Evil East just starts punching her. Finally, Katrina's able to turn the tide, gets the stone, and just the stone, that controls, hits Evil East right there, and Disciples of Death cover her and get the 1, 2, 3. So the Disciples of Death are the new Trios Tag Team Champions. That was the prediction I did get wrong. I just didn't want to see the Disciples of Death win because they got beaten up the past 2 weeks by one guy. So I thought, maybe they're not ready for the title or something. And as soon as the match started, I was like, Disciples of Death are winning. I should have predicted them. But, what are you going to do? And I'm excited to see the Disciples of Death Tag Team Champions. And I think it'll be chaos for Lucha Underground. But we'll see where that goes. Main event. Drago versus Hernandez in a Believers Backlash match. This is where the fans surround the ring, have some belts, and they get to whip anybody they want to. Of course, this, Hernandez being a heel and this being fans. Now, when I heard about this match, I'm like, okay, these are fans, they're going to get, pay extras to come in and, put them in Lucha Underground shirts or whatnot and have them, whip the guys at certain spots. No, this is actual fans. These are people that, I've seen do YouTube shows. Like, there's a few YouTubers there, people I see in the audience, unless Lucha Underground paid these people to stay in the audience every single taping. Just regular fans. And as soon as Drago gets rolled out, Hernandez is like, whip him, guys, let's do this. Everyone just helps Drago up, and no one's going to whip him because Drago's, the face. Hernandez falls out. They just start whipping him and just beating him. He had this huge red mark on his bald head. And it looked awful. But basically, Hernandez was getting whipped. You could easily tell he could have, just beaten the crap out of all of them. But he just took the whipping. So Hernandez was a good worker in this match because he got to take a lot of beating for this. I think there was maybe 2 or 3 extras because at one point Hernandez powerbombed Drago onto the fans, like 3 fans. And then Hernandez actually ended up throwing one of the fans. So I think one guy was an extra. But still, when they said fans, they pretty much meant it. So that's pretty crazy. Lucha Underground does insane stuff. But Hernandez went for a dive out of the ring, and Drago sprayed him with the green mist, rolled him back in the ring, and he had nunchucks and stuff. Drago was hitting him a bunch of nunchucks, did a splash off the top rope, threw a table onto Hernandez, put him in the ring, and then I forget how he ended it, but Drago ended up getting the win. So I did predict that right. I was happy about that. And a dang good match. Just funny. Actual fans whipping people, that's insane. But they showed a preview for next week, looking freaking awesome. I saw a table on fire. I saw Aerostar fall from the rafters of the arena, it looked like. Next week should be insane. I'm really, really looking forward to next week. The 2-hour season finale, it's going to be awesome. Or this week, I apologize. Keep messing that up. To the one viewer that is watching, thank you. Very appreciate you watching all this. I do appreciate it, and hope you're enjoying the show. But Lucha Underground, can't wait for a final episode. Should be awesome. Next, we're going to talk about TNA. Impact Wrestling. I'm going to try to curl this up. I talk way too much during this. I know. I'm sorry. But Bully Ray is, of course, the law now. So Aries came out and basically said something about the X Division Championship. I forget what it was. I don't know what, or I mean, I know what it was about because I'm about to say it, but I don't know how it got set up to that. But Aries basically said, I'm not here to be in the X Division champion. I don't want that. The X Division means nothing. It's for guys like Rockstar Spud who will never make it into the main roster, or who will never fight or win the World Heavyweight Championship. Excuse me. Aries, you won that title, I think, like 20 different times, and you freaking beat up TJ Perkins just so you could wear the Suicide or Manic outfit, just so you could win that very X Division Championship, so you could cash it in. So that made no sense whatsoever. He bashed the X Division Championship, something he pretty much like made. They gave him any time they needed an X Division champion. So I didn't get. Spud came out, delivered heck of a promo. Spud was really good. Didn't raise his voice, which I really liked, and didn't have to scream in Aries' face and to prove his point. Basically said, you know what, if I think I can beat you. So Aries basically said, I have nothing to gain from this, but I'm going to take your name. So I guess he does have something to gain from this, actually. So Spud basically, or Aries basically says, you know what, I want your name. I want to be Rockstar Austin Aries next week. So no one calls him Rockstar to begin with. After this segment, Josh Matthews called him Spud on like 3 different occasions. So I kind of would, this storyline would help better if they called him Rockstar Spud a lot. They don't. They call him Spud all the time. So that I'm disappointed by. And then Aries has to put up his career. So that I really didn't get. A guy's name, not even his name, just half his name for a guy's career. That I'm a little confused on. And I get that Aries, has nothing else to gain. So I guess they couldn't put, Spud's career on the line. But I don't know. It seems kind of stupid. But next week, Spud versus Aries does happen at No Surrender. Yes, next week is No Surrender. I'll get to that later because I have it in my notes. But, yeah, so next week, Aries versus Spud, Rockstar versus Career. Tigre Uno once again called out Trump. Basically said, I called you out last week. Where are you? The episodes are taped in advance, and Donald Trump doesn't have a time machine, so he can't go back in time and, call you out or answer your challenge. So I like that they're giving Tigre Uno more spot or segments to actually talk during, but people in the comment section for that YouTube video were ripping him to shreds. There was a boring promo. They have no idea what he's saying, and it was just, that's what people were saying in the comment section. But calling out Trump, like, what? Why? And it's a tape. Like, who cares? What if Trump sees that and just like, I never got this memo that he called me out, and you tape the episodes days in advance. Looking very, very just little league for TNA. That's my opinion, of course. EY versus Melendez in the match they've done about 18 trillion times, and they're going to do it, I think, 2 more times. They did one for sure at the taping, and I think they did another. So, yeah, we're going to see that again. So, EY won, Paulo drove Melendez. Okay. I don't really see any reason for that. Give Melendez the win, please. But whatever. Brooke versus Marty Bell for the Knockouts Championship. They're calling her Gail Taker now. Gail's music hits or whatever. The lights go out. They come back on, and the good guy ends up getting the advantage. So they're calling her Gail Taker, and that's what happened. Gail's music hit or whatever. Marty Bell and the Dollhouse get distracted. Brooke hits her crappy finisher, gets the 1, 2, 3. So Brooke gets the win. Good job. Proud of you, Brooke. All right, next. Matt Hardy reveals the stipulation for his match against EC3 next week at No Surrender. He brings out Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's big return, and they basically are like, you know what, Jeff, you're pretty creative. How about you come up with a stipulation? So Jeff Hardy whispers something in his ear. He says, you know what, I like that idea. Pulls out chairs, pulls out ladders, pulls out tables. Let's do it. Full Metal Mayhem next week for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm excited for that. That should be a really, really good match. My friend Charles, check out his channel, WWE TNA 1152. he was there live, and he actually got to see the match, happen, unfold. So he said it was a really good match. So I'm excited for that. Magnus and Mickie James versus James Storm and Serena Deeb, or Serena Deb, I believe, something like that. And this match kind of sucked. I was disappointed because Serena was just in regular, like, kind of looked like a face, and her gear was like blue and bright and stuff. For that role, I think she should have came in something a little more darker or whatever. But the match sucked. Like, it was just Magnus and Storm fighting for most of the match, while Mickie James and Serena just looked on the ring apron, just watching them go around the ring and fighting. So of course Storm and Serena get the advantage and blah blah blah, and then Magnus speared Magnus, looked awesome. That actually looked pretty cool, and Mickie James hit Serena with a really crappy version of her DDT. I don't know who botched it, but it didn't look good. And then she hit one on James Storm, which looked really good. He spun around for it, and they got the 1, 2, 3. So Magnus and Mickie get the win. Good for them. A lot of people were saying this is James Storm's final match in TNA. It's not. He worked the tapings, but he has announced on Twitter that he is leaving TNA. So he will do you will still see him from the further TNA episodes, of course. But yes, he is done with TNA. So that does suck to see. I really did love James Storm. I think he should have got a world title run that he deserved. But, what are you going to do? So, yeah, it was an all right match. And then the final segment, Jeff Jarrett inducted in the Hall of Fame. I think this was the main event. It went like 20 minutes because I want to say Hernandez and the Beatdown Clan segment was most likely cut from the show. So maybe that wasn't the main event segment. But they were just like, we cut this. Let's just make it 20 minutes or whatever. So that was disappointing. And it was a good speech. So like at first he was just crying and talking about, everybody that had gotten him that way. Or video package was good and stuff. And at the end it got really, emotional and stuff. And that was good. But I absolutely think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I really do. But I still just can't help but say it is no TNA Hall of Fame without AJ Styles. I know he turned it down. He didn't. They offered him to be in the Hall of Fame, but he said no. But they should have put him in there. They should have put him as the first person. Maybe, yeah, Sting was a good pick, but I don't know. AJ Styles just built that company, I think. I truly believe. But Jeff Jarrett did, literally build the company. So he's well-deserving. And it was a good segment, and I enjoyed it. So No Surrender is next week. They basically, in the caption, in just bold white letters, no poster, no different font. It was literally the same font as Matt Hardy versus EC3, just No Surrender. So a pay-per-view, a special event that I just learned about the week before, not really that good. And I don't know, it's got a good card, but when you really don't hype it up at all, these special events and pay-per-views, what's the point? It's just a regular Impact, but that's just me. Top 5. All right, so my top 5, again, this will have Ultima Lucha spoilers from who won some of the matches or all of the matches. So if you don't want to hear that, please mute the video or exit out. I understand. So top 5, I went with Seth Rollins. He had a great match with John Cena. Didn't get the win, which of course why I didn't put him higher, but an awesome, awesome match. 4, I went with Drago. Got the big win against Hernandez, but he had, the fans to really help him, so that's why he wasn't any higher. 3, Cage got the awesome win against Mac in a fantastic match. Number 2, the Disciples of Death. They did win the Trios Tag Team Championship, something I did not expect at all, or I did expect, but it's disappointing to see. And, of course, number 1, because he did win, or he did retain his championship against the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, made him tap out in the main event. Got to go with John Cena. Keeping it kayfabe. And, if I was really up to me and I was saying, blah, blah, that wouldn't be the case. But I like to keep this kayfabe. So, match of the week. This was hard because I had Cena versus Rollins and then Mac versus Cage. I really, really enjoyed Mac versus Cage. And I feel like I got to watch that match a bunch. Yeah, I'm going to go with Mac versus Cage. That was an awesome match. Really kicked off Ultima Lucha in an awesome way. But Cena versus Rollins was really, really good nonetheless. So, and next, my kick-out segment, I believe. Yeah, kick-out segment where I talk about all the positives in wrestling. This is hard. No, I'm just kidding. We got some good stuff. PWG through Mendes 4 happened. Nah, it didn't even happen last week, did it? I don't think so. I don't know. But SummerSlam's kicking up, picking up steam, and a lot of these guys don't have feuds or stable storylines. But Cesaro versus Owens, that doesn't sound bad at all. Should be really good. Ring of Honor is always picking up. I think the Bucks versus War Machine and some other really good match I heard is this week. So I'm excited for that. But I can't remember. Which it was sad. Destination America put a Bigfoot show in Ring of Honor's primetime slot. So now the only time Ring of Honor is on is right after Impact. So that's disappointing, but still Ring of Honor is on Destination America. So you've got to be happy for that. I mean, you can't say just, oh, I'm pissed off about that, which I am, but whatever. TNA, I learned at the taping some crazy stuff does go down. I'm a little sad with how the tapings ended. I think they kind of ruined it, but good things are coming in TNA. I will say that. Some stuff you really can laugh at, but other stuff I'm pretty excited to see it unfold on TV. So that I'm excited for. All-Star Extravaganza 7 was announced as a pay-per-view, so Ring of Honor pay-per-view is always something to look forward to. I'll be in attendance, and I will be so freaking excited to see a pay-per-view for Ring of Honor. That's awesome. I freaking can't wait. And I didn't watch NXT, but we got NXT TakeOver Brooklyn coming up, which should be really awesome. Again, SummerSlam, that should be really good. So, sorry, this week was kind of hard. But Ultima Lucha, that should be it. That's it. That's my final, kick-out thing. Ultima Lucha is going to be freaking awesome. 2 hours. If you missed this, come on, guys. You got to watch this show. Definitely watch Lucha Underground. And tell you 7 WWE Rocks tell Lucha Underground 7 WWE Rocks sent you. Give me a sponsorship. Give me some free merchandise. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And remember, tomorrow I will have the Q&A video where you can ask your questions. So, start thinking of some good ones. This will be my 3rd Q&A, I think. So I want some awesome questions. So thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at 7WWE Rocks. Next time I'm doing Google Hangout, or next Saturday, it will be episode 50. Freaking can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. So thank you so much for watching. As always, have a nice day.